Hey everyone, it's Paige and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I did this video before at Club Champion where I was trying all of the driver heads out, and I thought I was absolutely in love with my TaylorMade Stealth driver, and I didn't think anything was going to top that. And I was shocked, to say the least, that the Titleist driver was actually producing almost the same number. So I asked them to make me a Titleist driver, and I wanted to try it out and see which one was better. And you guys have been dying to know which one I ended up gaming, so I have both of them here, and I'm going to talk about why I picked the one that I did and the reasons behind it. So let's just get right into it. So here's what I've been doing with both drivers. First off, I hit them both on the range, and I was trying different shots and working them just to see the workability of each driver. Then I took it to the course and I was hitting each driver a couple of times to see where I was more consistent, which one I was hitting longer. And then lastly, I had some fun pro-ams with a little bit more pressure. So I tried the one out that I thought was going to be great, and the next time I tried the other driver to see which one under pressure held up. So we're gonna first start with the TaylorMade Stealth driver. So this is the one I was gaming before I went into Club Champion. What I liked about this driver is that it went really far for me. So before this driver, I was hitting a ping, and then before that one was my M4. I loved my TaylorMade M4. Honestly, it was in my bag for a really long time. Nothing was outperforming it, and I switched to the ping just because I felt like I needed a little bit of the change, but my M4 was still my favorite driver. And then once I tried the Stealth, it then replaced the M4, replaced the ping, and I really love this driver. The only thing that I felt like I struggled with here was consistency. My misses with the TaylorMade Stealth driver just were a bit big. I was hitting this really far, but sometimes I didn't know exactly where it was going. And I also had a little trouble here with the workability. I could move this thing right to left all day long, and that was no trouble at all. But I had some issues working it left to right. And again, I think that's why I was hitting it so far, because I was able to always hit that consistent draw, but sometimes that consistent draw would turn into a big hook, and then I would have to overcompensate, and then I would hit this big slice. And so that was one thing that I didn't love with this driver. When I was going on the driving range and with the workability, I really noticed that the Titleist driver was much better than the Stealth when it came to workability. When it came to distance, I hit my Stealth farther when I nailed it, but when I mishit it, it really just didn't fly as far as the Titleist did. And then on the golf course, again, I could really just get this out there, but under pressure, I would just miss left, and that's just a miss that I honestly hated. So if you tend to miss right and you have that shot of like a nice slice, the Stealth driver might actually be really nice for you because you can really work it right to left, and some people love to see that draw. That's how you hit it farther. And again, if you struggle with always missing right, this driver could be absolutely perfect for you. Next up, we have the Titleist driver. So when I was on the range with the workability, I can really work this driver, which I love. I always have a bit of a hard time, like I said, working it left to right, and I can do it, but usually it turns into more of a slice. But I can actually work this driver left to right on command, which is really nice. I tend to hit it a bit straighter than I do any other driver that I've ever had. My miss is left, and I normally play a bit of a draw, but lately it's been too big of a draw. And so with the Titleist driver, it's just a nice little draw that I feel like I can control. So workability, the Titleist beat the TaylorMade in that category. When it comes to distance, like I said, I don't hit this one as far when I catch it as my TaylorMade Stealth driver. That one can go 10 to 15 yards farther than the Titleist, but on average with the mishits, which I tend to have a lot of now because I don't practice as much as I used to, the Titleist is a bit more consistent. And I tend to find the side of the face a little bit more. It goes a little bit straighter for me, and so the Titleist wins also in that category. Under pressure, again, the Titleist actually won because I don't have that really big left miss, and especially when I get nervous, my hands get a little tight, and that's when they get active and I have that miss. And I don't have as many of those misses with the Titleist. I still do have them, so it's not this like magic club that's gonna fix your entire swing, but for me it was a little bit more consistent and the setup looked really nice, so I had a lot of confidence. And these are all very minor differences, but all in all, the Titleist ended up beating out the Stealth driver, and I'm still shocked that I am saying that, but yeah, the Titleist for me is now the gamer. And so that shows you that you have to go get your clubs fit, because you could go in thinking that you have the best set of clubs for you, and to your surprise, a brand that maybe you don't normally get fit into, or a brand that you don't think of, could be the best for you. And so that's why I'm such a big advocate of going in and getting fit at a place like Club Champion. Specifically, go to Club Champion because you can use my code Paige for a discount, which will really help you guys, because it can be expensive. But this is why I always say invest in your clubs, because it's going to make such a big difference in your game, especially if you're trying to break 100 for the first time, 90 for the first time, 80 for the first time, 70 for the first time. Having confidence in your clubs and knowing that they fit you is the best thing for you. And I want to emphasize that even though the Titleist driver is the best driver for me, it is for certain reasons. And again, that's why you have to go to Club Champion to get fit for your clubs, because what works for me could not work for you, and the TaylorMade Stealth driver could be the driver for you, Ping could be the driver for you, Callaway could be the driver for you. And so it's such a individualized process, and so it's so important that you go and you have a trusted professional walk you through the whole process, because again, I hate seeing it go left. That's just something that I personally detest more than anything. And it's because when I was playing professionally, I had the yips, and mine was always this big left shot. So I have almost like PTSD when it comes to seeing that shot shape. And for a lot of people, that's actually something they want to see. They want to see it turn over, they want to see it go left. So again, keep that in mind when I'm talking about it. All the equipment out right now is spectacular. It is so incredibly good, but you have to find what works for you. Invest in your clubs now, invest in your game, because it's going to pay off in the long run, instead of just buying a club off the rack and having it not fit you perfectly, because you're gonna have to change your swing when your clubs don't fit you. Because I noticed with the TaylorMade Stealth driver, since I was missing it left, I tend to open the club face, and then I started missing my other clubs right, but my driver was still going left. So you never want to change your swing to fit your clubs. You want your clubs to fit your game. So I'm gonna say that again, because this is so incredibly important. You don't want to change your swing to fit your clubs. You want your equipment to fit your swing. And that's what they do at Club Champion. One thing that I actually find really fascinating is that we talked about this in that last driver video, but they're the same shaft, same length, same weight, same grip. So the only difference in this is the driver head, but that's because we've actually tuned it all in exactly to get to this point. So now it's just changing the driver heads, but making the shaft, the driver weight, the length, the grip size, all of that makes such a massive difference in how much farther you can hit it. And I know, because I've seen it myself, and it's funny because I get fit all the time. That's just, you know, one of the best perks of my job, that I get to try out all this amazing equipment, is that even now with my swing being pretty consistent, always the same, and I know that it's the equipment that either is helping or hindering when it comes to a club, that even now, if I change the shaft or the weight or the grip or the club head, I'm still gaining yardage. So imagine if that's happening for me, who gets fit all the time, who gets to try music equipment all the time. Imagine you, who doesn't have a custom fit set of clubs. You're going to be gaining 20, 30 yards at least, I'm sure. And not only that, but having that consistency, again, which is huge. Maybe distance isn't for you, but consistency is what you're after. Again, having clubs that fit you and going through the whole process of finding the right grip for you, the right grip size, the right shaft, the right stiffness or the flex of the shaft, the club head, all of that goes into play to getting the most perfect club that's fit exactly for you. So that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you want to go to Club Champion to get fit, you can use my code Paige, and they have so many locations around, so I'm sure they'll find one that's close to you. I'll link it down below so you can find a Club Champion near you to get fit for your custom set of clubs. And again, as always, leave a comment down below on future videos, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next Thursday.